Boys, I could not be more excited. We finally have the first international break in our rear view window. We have got Premier League football coming back. It is hyped. Arsenal didn't get any major injuries. What more can I ask for? This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. Down below, that's Sean. He just got back from Scotland in the England-Scotland match in his tropical shirt. He supports Tottenham. Boys, hello. Good evening. I hope you all are well.
Yes, looking forward to the weekend, or my weekend getting ruined. Typically happens.
Oh, I can't wait to dive into this.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Before we get too deep, hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification on YouTube. If you're on one of the podcast sites, follow, 5-star review. Brad is still calling out those 5-star reviews as we get them on Apple. And leave a comment on the YouTubes. Join our Discord. It's in the description of this video or your podcast. And share it with a friend. That would make our day. So
a week.
Or our week, whenever I look at it, it's going to make me happy. So it might be multiple times in the week. It might be multiple times. So tonight we got a comment from our boy Jimmy. He's got some words about the kits that we talked about last week. And then
we got a fellow fashionista.
Yeah, apparently he just got back from Paris and looking at all the stuff in Paris with the clothes.
Yeah,
the
wine
stuff.
and
the clothes,
cheese and clothes, and
and then we've got match week 5 for you. If you are interested about any of the games that are going to be on this weekend, that is scrolling for you at the bottom. It just restarted, so take a look now. Okay, Jimmy's comment. He says, best overall kit for me is a toss-up between, drumroll, Manchester City and Newcastle United. First off, before we go much further, that's crazy for me. I think he's talking. I think he's got to be talking only away kits, or maybe he's talking about the entire suite of kits. I'm not sure. But he continues. He says, "I like how City has the traditional just white away kit. Newcastle, I can understand not doing that because their home kit is already white. I would have loved to see Newcastle's away kit be all black." But I would riot as a player if I had to wear all black kit right now with some of the temperatures. These kits, those kit sets to me are classic, and to me some of the bonker nonsense that some of the clubs have put together. Also curious, Sean, if you got confused with Tottenham, went to Burnley, and wondered if they showed up with Watford's ground by mistake, because you remember we had a little confusion over grounds last week, and that was the second part of his comment.
Stadium and light.
So I agree. I think we talked about this. We were all pretty high on. Manchester City's ensemble. Like we all thought they had good kits.
Well, when you got billions of dollars to put on marketing, then that's you come up with some good stuff.
Hold on. I got a question. Wait, who plays at the Stadium of Light?
Sunderland. It was a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Sorry.
Yeah.
James moved past it, but you couldn't. You had to Google it.
Yeah.
I knew it was Sunderland. I knew it was Sunderland.
Okay.
I knew it was Sunderland.
So
you knew it was Sunderland.
So what I was in defense of, in contrast with your argument about marketing and things like that, generally the kit manufacturers have way more say than the clubs do in terms of what their kits are going to look like. I don't think that Arsenal, during the Puma era, rocked up to Puma and was like, yo, can you make us a light blue kit as our away jersey, which is what I'm wearing right now because I said last week I would wear it, and this is an atrocious Arsenal jersey. And so the companies, especially when you're one of the smaller clubs, I think the big boys have a little bit more say. They have a little bit more input on as to what they want. But, if you look at all of, like, Adidas, they make you can see this. If you compare a lot of the Adidas home kits this year with across the continent with all the other, so Arsenal's home kit, I don't know who else uses Adidas, but compare the Arsenal home kit with all the other Adidas home kits across the continent. They will look very similar. They'll Arsenal's is Arsenal size by being red and white sleeves, but like the styling and all that stuff, like, and Nike does this and Puma does it and all the companies do it where they have like a style of kit that they're going with. And like, that's just what they get. They just personalize it to the club. You'll also see that with like away kits. Like they'll make an away kit and then next year it's the same style of away kit for the next team, but like just the colors are changed. Like these companies are lazy as hell when it comes to this stuff. So, I guess what all I'm saying is that maybe Manchester City didn't have a lot of input in what their kits were going to look like, and so maybe they lucked out this year. But yes, their kits are fresh. I still think Burnley has some really nice kits, but I think was it Burnley or it was Burnley. I think.
Turf.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Jimmy, for that comment. We really appreciate it. We will get to your comments next week, loyal listeners of Red Card Radio, if you put them on the internet.
And I'm going to take a moment to call out some people.
Okay.
I don't know who they are, but we've got a fair amount of new listeners, new subscribers, new viewers who are not commenting. You want to get called out on this show or not? Put your views in the comments and stop being lazy. Put them in there.
Yeah.
Call me an idiot. Call Brad an idiot, and let's get some discourse going.
If you call me an idiot, I'm not going to bring your comment in. But if you call Brad or Sean an idiot, I'm absolutely going to bring your comment in.
Don't call him an idiot.
If you call James an idiot, I'll bring the comments in. Don't worry. I have access to YouTube too.
We got a back door on that one.
You got to praise the host. I'll bring the comment in. If you disparage the co-host, I'll get you. I got you.
There's pre-production meetings that happen, and we will sneak those in the back door.
All right.
If you call James an idiot.
Hey, Sean, since there's only one of us that has host in their Twitter profile or X profile,
yeah, we're just
co-hosts. The other two
co-hosts.
have co-hosts. Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna add producer to mine. Just
that's good.
That way I got a little back door.
We've made all of our significant others executive producers, so and like
that's true.
We've given them C-suite titles, and they don't even know it yet. Chief marketing officer, chief financial officer, chief information officer. So. Yeah, they've got all the C-suite is going to be stacked at Right Car Radio when it's a company.
How about this match week 5? It's
a good one. I mean, there are some I think that leave something to be desired. But in terms of like coming back from the international break, we got a couple tasty propositions. I think we want to start at Old Trafford, right?
Okay.
So up in Trafford, not Manchester, if you ask the City fans, we got Manchester United hosting Brighton and Hove Albion. Roberto De Zerbi and the boys coming up north. United are kind of all over the place right now, right?
Waffling.
So if we look at their first 4 matches, they got handled by Wolves in the first match. I think they squeaked by Forest in the second match week. They lost to Spurs, or was that maybe they lost to Spurs in this? Oh, they lost to Spurs in the second match week. Yeah, so they got lucky to beat Wolves. They got destroyed by Spurs. They were lucky to beat Forest, and you could argue they were unlucky to lose to Arsenal, but they still lost to Arsenal. And now they've got Brighton, who are flying high. Now Brighton were embarrassed by West Ham a couple weeks ago, but this is one I think that West United's got a couple questions about the center forward position. They've got Rasmus Højlund that they're excited about, but the right wing position, I guess it does need to be said that Antony is taking a leave of absence from the club while he deals with his potential legal or his legal
issues.
What do I want to say? What's the word I want to say? Accusations. The accusations against him. You can Google that if you're interested. We're not going to get into that. We got the whole Jadon Sancho situation with Erik ten Hag. That's a spicy one that we didn't even touch on last week.
Well, yeah, but apparently it never happened because Sancho erased his X comments, or his comments on X about ten Hag. So
I just find this entire thing interesting entirely, where manager calls out player for being lazy, and then he comes back and says, I'm not lazy. I just, okay. Yeah, like,
how
okay,
dare
then prove
you?
it. Prove it, because I saw videos of him actually being lazy at training. And sure, it's experts and it or excerpts and it's 30-second clips and blah blah blah. You could frame anything to be what you want it to be, but like also effort is something that you can't fake.
Yeah.
Like either you're giving it, whether you're good or not, you can't fake effort.
Yeah. What I don't like about it, the whole situation, I think, is nasty to me, because I don't think Erik ten Hag needs to call Sancho out in public. Obviously, it's his right to do so, because he's the manager, he's in charge, but he doesn't need to, right? Unless he's actively trying to force Sancho out, then I don't see the value in this. And if we're talking about players that he needs to actively force out, he needs to be having some choice words for Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay in the press if he's going to do that.
Anthony Martial, who's been collecting a paycheck for a bajillion years for no reason.
8 years he's been a Manchester United player. That's insane. But so that's my point. Like I don't think Erik ten Hag needed to call Sancho out in the manner in which he did. I think he could have protected Sancho while still having the same effect internally. He could have called Sancho out in front of the players behind closed doors. He could have told him, "You're not working hard enough. There's expectations at this club that you are not fulfilling, so you are not in the match week squad this week." And then he could have told the media, it was just a tactical decision. We made the decision this week that we thought would give us the best chance to win the game. And I'm going to do the same thing next week. I'm going to make the choice next week to put us in the best position to win the game. And maybe that includes Sancho, but we'll have to have a week of training and we'll see. And I think that would have been a much better way to handle the situation than to say, I didn't select him because he didn't train hard. Like, Ten Hag, I think, gets an L here for me. And I think Sancho also gets an L for me, because you just got to take that one, unfortunately. As unfortunate as it is, you just got to take that one.
I think it comes down to, this is going to sound odd from a almost 36-year-old, but maybe social media posts are the only way to get to these players, like where they're only on social media, and like maybe that's a way to get to them, is just make a viral video about why you're not in the club, and then maybe you'll pay attention then that everybody's making fun of him because he's not very good. Like, I don't know. Like,
maybe
we didn't grow up in that time.
Yeah, we're internet boomers.
Yeah. Well, I'm not, but
you're an internet boomer. Don't lie.
No,
you actively use a Twitter account. You're an internet boomer.
Okay. But still, like maybe that's a way to get at these younger players in a way that we don't know about. I don't know. I'm just trying to play the other side of the coin. But like,
that is
clearly it didn't. Clearly, it maybe didn't work.
No, it backfired 100%.
It did not work in the way that he thought it was going to work.
And the thing about that, Sancho had that, like, he went into the notes app, he typed up a note and just shot it straight out. There was no run it by a publicist. There was no formatting. There was no letterhead. There was no picture of Sancho behind it. He was in the notes app right after he saw the interview, and he let it rip. Which was shocking about it. It was up for a whole week before he deleted it. So it'll be interesting to see if he plays again for United. Do you think he plays again for Manchester United?
No.
Like ever? Or are we talking in the league?
Ever. I mean, did Cristiano Ronaldo play again ever after Ten Hag essentially banished him? And we're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo.
But
he didn't. Yeah. He didn't.
No, but I don't know. Because you just have to sell him, right? Like, you have to move him on.
Sooner or later, these players are going to realize that Erik ten Hag is as close to Alex Ferguson as Manchester United has had, and there is no crossing the manager in that building. And you cross the manager, you're out of here. Whether you're Cristiano Ronaldo or whether you're Jadon Sancho, it doesn't matter to me.
I saw before we move on to the next game, I saw a funny tweet from Piers Morgan. Afterwards, I'm not a big Piers Morgan fan, but I found this tweet to be very funny. He tweeted at Jadon Sancho like the evening after he made that post, and he said, "Come do an interview on Piers Morgan Uncensored, and we'll get you out of Manchester." So, that was. Wow. That was a quality tweet from everybody's boy Piers Morgan. All right, let's turn our attention to the London Stadium, and we're not going to be talking about the Sideman match that took place there this week. We're talking about Pep Guardiola's Manchester City
Where
are
did they-
coming to town.
Wait, they played at West Ham Stadium
Yeah,
this year?
this-
They moved up.
The
They
Sidemen.
moved up from.
Yeah.
They moved up from. They played at Millwall.
It was
last year, I
Charlton
believe.
last year. Charlton.
Charlton.
Yeah, so they played at the London Stadium. The
No
Sidemen
kidding.
versus the U2 All Stars. Sidemen won it, I think, 8-5.
I saw a very funny clip that a player got a yellow card and then used a reverse Uno card.
on Mark
Yes.
Clattenburg. Yeah, that was funny.
It was just as funny will be this game.
Okay.
City
Wow.
are going to absolutely demolish Moyes and the boys.
Moyes and the boys. That's the best. David Moyes can't ever be fired. He needs to always be managing in the Premier League for that specific rhyme. But
Moyes and the boys.
I don't know.
Look,
Hold on. But let's think about that West Ham Brighton game. Let's think about that West Ham Brighton game, and West Ham literally they didn't touch the ball that game.
all of West Ham's games
They
have been
didn't touch the ball.
that same thing.
And they've been deadly on the break. So obviously, I think that City have better tools to deal with to deal with teams on the break. Their center backs are better. Their defensive midfielders are better. But I don't think that we should just say that City are going to roll them. I mean, obviously, I think City are going to roll them. So, but playing devil's advocate, West Ham got a result against Brighton.
And they barely touched the ball against Chelsea. And they struggled against Bournemouth when they had to have the ball. They struggled against Luton Town when they had to have the ball. I think there's something to be said that Moyes is down to play suffer ball and hit you on the counter. Yes, City wins. City wins. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than we think it is.
This is just a part of this dying breed of managers that I hope, with all due respect, go away.
Hold on.
Just retire.
Hold on.
This Moyes, this Conte, this Mourinho, just get away from me with your nasty terrorism ball.
He is not a regressive manager in that regard.
Yes, he is.
He's not. He doesn't intentionally try and play that way. I think he is
4-4-2 all day.
Okay.
He is looking at his
Timeout.
He's looking at his roster and he's saying, "Okay, what can we do? We have no midfield. I have Bowen and I have Antonio. Okay, let's hoof it up to them and let's see what happens."
I mean, Mohamed Kudus should be available for selection this week. So, I'm sorry, but I think that lumping Moyes in the Nuno Espirito de Santos, Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte style
Boring.
of
It's
3-5-2,
terrorism.
park the
It's
bus.
terrorism.
I agree with you, but I don't think Moyes is that guy. So I'm going to defend my
He
boy.
needs to go. He's in this. He's in the same group as Big Sam.
Big Sam, Sean Dyche, Tony Pulis, 4-4-2.
Yeah, just get him out of here. Get out. Go away from football.
We need to apparently we need to look to Australia for our managers, right?
Retire to a Greek island. Just go away. Go away.
Hold on, but you retire and then they keep pulling you back in. Look at our boy Roy. Roy can't stay retired. They keep pulling that man off the beach.
Jesus. Leave him alone.
That's what I'm saying.
Let him go. Let him retire in peace.
Yes. Now, normally we highlight 2 games
Okay.
or 3 games.
Normally, yeah, that's
Well,
true.
Normally.
We only have 2 that are bolded
You
on.
you only highlighted 2.
What are we doing?
I've got Seanstradamus, pick of the week.
Yo, attempt and please rate in the comments that sound effect. We
I need to learn how to clip things, so that I can just go on to the Instagram that I haven't used in a while.
Well, I'm glad you're clipping that because the game of the week is actually Bournemouth Chelsea. This is going to be the game of the week. Solanke's been Solanking, and Chelsea have been struggling. And you're going to Bournemouth, and I don't know what's going to happen here. This is a promotion team Chelsea should dominate, but they ain't been playing the way. You guys are still figuring yourself out. You haven't figured out what
Yeah, and we got a left back as a left winger.
Yeah, you don't know what formation. You don't know what combination. Bournemouth know who they are. They got promoted last year. They're up here.
And you know what? I think I agree with you. This is gonna be a struggle game because last time when Bournemouth was in the Premier League before, they were our boogeyman team. They were our Crystal Palace to Tottenham. So like
that's my team.
This might be some spicy.
I apologize to Bournemouth. They've been up for a couple of years.
2 now.
2 years. So, they're still Well, anyways, they suck.
I apologize to Bournemouth fans. Y'all have been up for 2 years, but y'all still trash.
Y'all still suck.
Still suck. And you're going down this year. Seanstradamus already said. So, are Chelsea helping Bournemouth on their relegation path, or is Seanstradamus right that you are going down in a draw right here?
I think Chelsea benefit from the fact that they won't be at home. I think, the problem with when you're playing inconsistently and your fans have expectations of you is that if you're playing at home, there's more pressure to perform because like, if we don't get this rolling, the fans are going to get on us and then it gets tense, right? So I think being away, and it's a small ground at Bournemouth, so it's not like there's going to be a huge traveling contingent. And so I think that helps Chelsea. But
are they a small ground as well?
I don't think so.
Because Chelsea, correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea have one of they are on the inner limits because there are limits of the actual ground between 5 yards one way or the other.
Are you talking about at Stamford Bridge?
Length and width. And they are one of the smaller actual grounds.
Narrower. Stamford Bridge is narrower. I don't know what
the dimensions.
Vitality Stadium is.
I think the length is also shorter as well. You're on the shorter end of length and width, I believe, at Stamford Bridge.
I'm not entirely sure about Bournemouth. I will say that a more narrow pitch probably hurts Chelsea because Chelsea are the number one cross creating team this season. They've created the most number of crosses.
Yeah, Brad, you put those stats to the group chat. Like I'm supposed to be impressed with this. You're just putting the stats of all these things you've created but haven't converted. So why am I supposed to be impressed with this? Please explain this to me.
I am.
These are all the reasons why we should score a goal, and
we still can't. Yes, we still haven't hit.
Why am I supposed to be impressed with this?
You're not.
Okay.
But it's showing that we are moving in the right direction. We are creating the chances. We are creating opportunities. We're just not capitalizing on them.
So when you sent that text to us and it was I think it was Pochettino in a press conference or something like that, or whatever it was, and they were talking about all of the stuff that Chelsea had done. That's great. What stood out to me was that this was the same rhetoric that Arteta had in 2020 when we were absolutely dreadful, and it was. We were creating the most crosses. We had 33 crosses, and anytime you cross the ball, you can score a goal. We were just unlucky to not score the goal. And it was just all this rhetoric around like how, we're doing the right things and we just haven't scored yet and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's great. Like, cool. You've created crosses, but Chelsea Football Club right now do not have a center forward that is designed to thrive on that type of service. If you're going to be a team that is thriving on creating the most crosses, you know who they need to who they need to get? Peter Crouch. Like you need a player that just lives and thrives in the air. Giroud lives and thrives in the air. Harry Kane, very effective in the air. Dusan Vlahovic would have been a very good addition because he's a fairly good aerial player.
Erling Haaland.
Well, look, Erling Haaland is good at literally everything.
Anything, doesn't matter.
He's literally good at everything.
Involves scoring goals. And the Bournemouth field is significantly smaller. It is 8 meters shorter and 6 meters more narrow
than Stamford Bridge. Than the pitch at Stamford Bridge. Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, seats about a fourth of the people too.
Yeah, I think the Vitality Stadium's like 12,000 people or something like that.
Yep, just under.
Yeah, like that's
Stadium of Light.
Yeah, stadium lights, wild. The Reebok. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, I mean the stats show that we are moving in the right direction. We just got to bang in goals, and I think we looked like Chilwell needs to go back to left back. Colwell and Thiago, Colwell and Disasi, whoever, is the second center back, and Gusto on the right back. Like that needs to be our back line. Put Sterling on the left side and Madueke on the right side. Like I don't know, I don't care. Put Mudryk on the left side and keep Sterling on the right side. I don't know. I don't like sure whichever way, but Chilwell needs to go back to left back. So we can have some attacking onus on the left side because we looked a lot better when Chilwell was taken off and we had a full a legit back forward defense and legit attackers on the field.
I'm going to help you and Pochettino. If you decide to play Mudryk on the left, you need to have Chilwell on the left because they can overlap each other. They can have great play together.
Right.
If you have Sterling on the left, you need to not have Chilwell on the left because Sterling isn't what he used to be. He is not going to be able to make those runs, those passes, those give and goes. He's not going to be able to complete those.
Sterling and Gusto have had a great partnership.
Sure. Yeah. So why not play Mudryk and Sterling and Gusto and Chilwell?
I'm for that. That's what if I had the paper in front of me and I was writing the names on there.
So yeah. I remember I asked you last week, Brad, about Mudryk, about his playing time. And so I said, it's going to be a big indictment of Pochettino because one of your points was, he's been injured, right? And he's coming back from injury. And I said, well, let's see how much he plays for Ukraine over the international break. He played against England 90 minutes, at least 90 minutes. He was substituted at the end of the game. And then he came on as a second half sub in the second game against Italy. He played at least 30 minutes. He came on in the 58th minute, so he played probably 40 minutes in that match. He seems like he's match fit, so it's got to be a tactics thing. So if Pochettino doesn't select him on Saturday, then it's a tactics thing, or Sunday, excuse me. It's a tactics thing. It's a personnel thing. It's a I don't actually really trust this player type of thing. So it'll be interesting to see that selection.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm interested to see why and what happens. Chilwell at left wing, I don't know if that's working for us.
It seems like, yeah, I mean, I agree. That's a strange position for Ben Chilwell.
Or put Palmer on left wing. I think Palmer was brought in for the 10 spot, but we have enough attacking players. Put somebody else there that's not Ben Chilwell.
I mean, but we don't really know what you're getting with Cole Palmer. He seems to me he played for City last year in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but it doesn't really mean much to me, at least. It doesn't, especially when you're trying the center forward that you're passing to is Julian Alvarez instead of Erling Haaland. Yes, that's a downgrade, but it's not a significant downgrade. So I'm intrigued by what Cole Palmer actually brings to this situation, or is this just another situation of Todd Boehly identifying young English players and being I want to sign them because they're young and English?
I don't know. I don't think Todd Boehly is in charge of making those decisions. I mean, let me rephrase. I don't think Todd Boehly is the one identifying the talent anymore. He is not.
I hope not.
That it is. He has not been since the first summer.
So I don't know. Brad, do you think you guys beat Bournemouth?
Yes.
All right.
I was gonna say yes.
I guess we'll see. Yeah. Shout out to Sheffield who go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Arsenal going up to Goodison Park. So other games this weekend, it should be a good one. But that's all we got for you right now. Definitely make sure you check back next week. We will be coming with a review of all these games, and also the Champions League kicks off in about a week. So
what?
We'll have to keep a lookout for that.
I don't know what that league is.
Yeah.
The league doesn't exist. What?
Cool. But until that time, hit us up on Twitter. That's at KSBradG. That is at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. Collectively, we are at Redcard_radio on all the socials. And we will talk to you guys next time. Have a good one.